my name's Lottie, and if you're a subscriber, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am talking about a little bit of advice for my freshmen out there who are nervous about their first week of college. Don't worry about it, I got you. I totally feel you. I was super nervous for my first week at college or first few weeks at college, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of my advice on how to make it through and just like what to expect as well. It's just kind of a whirlwind, honestly. It's really fun and it's nothing like unexpected, but it's just weird because you've been planning and thinking about it for so long and then it's like finally happening. I'm just excited to share with you all a few of my like memories, anecdotes, advice, tips, all that good stuff for your first few weeks at college. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up down below. And if you're new here, I would love it if you would subscribe. I put up new videos every week about college, lifestyle, vlogs, like just fun stuff like that. And I would absolutely love to have you. I attend the University of Georgia, if you didn't know, and I'm going to be a junior in the fall, which is crazy. I don't want to talk about how I'm an upperclassman. I feel really old. I was a freshman what feels like yesterday. I'm getting old. Let's not talk about it. Let's get on to the tips. So your first week of college, let me talk a little bit about my first week of college because I want you all to have context. My first week was a little bit untraditional because I did a program at the University of Georgia called Freshman College, and Freshman College is when like 300 freshmen start actually in July, and they take 2 classes, so 6 credit hours, and move in early and just like get to know each other in the program and like get acclimated to campus and all of that stuff before the school year actually starts. I definitely had a little bit of an easier time transitioning because of that program, but I do remember like what both were like the first week of school when everyone was there and the first week when it was just us. Your first week is going to be kind of crazy. For me, I really wasn't like homesick at all my first week or my first like few weeks. After like probably a month or 6 weeks is when you start like kind of missing home. The energy starts to die down a little bit. The first week or two, you're so busy, there's so much going on that you really don't even have time to miss your family or be homesick. It definitely is like bittersweet when your parents leave. Everyone who's been to college has had that moment where they have to like hug their parents goodbye and say see you later, which can be kind of emotional or not, like just depending on what kind of a person you are. I used to be the kind of person that doesn't really cry, but now I kind of am. I don't live too far away from home. I can go home whenever I want. So I really wasn't that upset. And also my brother goes to the University of Georgia, so I had him there with me. It wasn't like I was completely alone. I know that that feeling of being alone when your parents drop you off can be a little bit scary because right now I'm actually in New York City. If you didn't know, I'm interning here this summer, so definitely like can have that feeling. I've interned here 2 summers in a row, so especially like last summer, my first summer interning here when I got dropped off, like you're very alone. So I know that feeling. You have to like embrace it and realize that you're like feeling that way, but at the same time there's so much opportunity to dive right into that I don't want any of you to feel that way. Just like think about the positive, think about how grateful you are to be there and stuff, because not everyone gets the opportunity to go to college or university. Just try to make the best of it if you are feeling homesick. That drop off is a little sad, but I mean, it's not like you're never gonna see your parents again. And also FaceTime really helps too. But some of you may be like, oh, I'm so ready to get rid of my parents. I'm like so ready to move out and be away from them. I can't wait for college. I can't wait to have my own space and be away and like be on my own, which go you too. Like that's a whole nother type of vibe and I'm here for it. So if you're on that level, you should be good. It's gonna be fun. Getting your dorm all set up was something I was really excited about. So that was really fun for me. Like my first like move-in day, like getting everything set up and getting everything situated how I wanted. After doing all my like planning and shopping for my room, especially on move-in day, please be very outgoing. I know you're exhausted because it's move-in day and it's stressful and it's exhausting and your parents are there and they're like not putting things where you want them and like you want that bed and your roommate got that bed or something, like I don't know, maybe you're just stressed out, but please try to be super outgoing this day. Everyone is being really friendly on move-in day and you want to take advantage of that. Introduce yourself to like literally everyone in your hall, like go knocking on all the doors and be like, hey, I just wanted to like introduce myself. My name's this, I live in this room. Add me on Snap or something. Like I'd love to hang out or get food this week. What's your name? Where are you from? Anything like that is really normal and no one's gonna judge you for doing that, especially on move-in day and really anytime that first week or first few weeks. I've made a video about this before. I have a video called Making Friends in College. I'll link it in a card. Also, I'll link my college playlist down below. It's always linked. Please be super outgoing. Like I don't care if you're the biggest introvert in the world. You are going to be very lonely if you are not outgoing in the first 2 weeks. weeks. You need to meet people. That first like month really is prime time. And it doesn't mean that you have to meet your best friend in the first week or 2 weeks or even month. But when you're like in that habit of like always being friendly, reaching out to people, meeting new people, talking to people, that sets you up for success in finding more people, more friends like throughout the whole semester, and then maybe running into someone who's going to end up being your best friend. So it's never going to be as easy to meet people and make friends as it is your freshman year, especially that first month. For me, I was always like, oh, they're going to think I'm weird if I go and ask if I can hang out with them tonight. But no one's going to think that. It's really an invaluable time, I'm telling you guys, for making friends. Like that first month, you need to put your game face on. And to go along with that, when it comes to names and remembering names, that can be very hard, very challenging. I'm pretty good with it, but I know a lot of people aren't. So if you aren't good with that, don't worry about it. If you're like, oh my gosh, like you live in my hall, right? Like remind me your name again. Obviously try to remember the people, your next door neighbors, and like the person across from you in the hall, maybe someone who you have a class with, any of that. But in general, just someone in your dorm that you like had a conversation with once, forgot their name, don't stress. Or if you see them in the dining hall and you're like, oh my gosh, hey, like, are you sitting with someone? Like, I would love to sit with you. Remind me your name again. Next thing to expect is that there's going to be a lot of freshman activities, which kind of goes along with what I was saying before. Like, you're going to be really busy. Take advantage of all the freshman activities. Grab your roommate, or if you're not really good friends with your roommate, grab another friend that you've made and go to a lot of those fun and free events on campus. Just like little freshman welcome stuff. Definitely recommend going. It's a good way to meet people. Another thing about the first week of college at UGA is that bid day happens on the first day of school. So if you rushed, it was like the week before school started. So the first week of school is going to be crazy with sorority girls. I'm sorry if you're not a Greek life fan. I am in a sorority, but I totally understand people who don't want to do that. Don't think that I am saying you have to do one or the other, because I totally understand why people would and would not want to do it. Just because I did it too, I was very much so surrounded by a lot of that like sorority girl stuff. The first week, everyone is really obsessed with like repping their letters and like putting up their signs and stuff. On bid day, you get like a sign with your name on it if you do rush. So a lot of people like put those on their door. The first week of school, people like update it in their Instagram bio, you know. That happens the very first day of school at UGA. I know that that's different at every school, but at the bigger schools, that's definitely something that will happen like within the first few weeks. Starts to kind of divide up your grade in a way that I really didn't like. It made me feel like I couldn't like reach out to people in other sororities because they would rather do stuff with people in their sorority, which is not true, but I just had that misconception in my mind. Just because you're in a different sorority than someone doesn't mean that you can't hang out with them or be their friend. Please don't limit yourself to just your sorority, but at the same time get to know the people in your sorority, because they are people that you're going to be spending a lot of time with. But if you're not in that scene, I don't want to ramble on about it, but that's definitely just something that's very prevalent, at least at UGA, the first week of school. But on top of that, like I said, there's so many like freshman welcome programs and different like fun and free activities for freshmen to do to meet people and get acclimated the first few weeks. So if you are in Greek life, go do that. Go get your free pizza and popsicles and mingle with freshmen in the quad, and then go to your social. Your first week is your kind of like first experience with the dining halls. So my advice there is to start like trying out different things, but don't go overboard, because you have all year. So don't feel like you have to eat everything in the dining hall in the first week of school. You have literally all year to eat in the dining hall. So don't make yourself sick of one thing in the first few weeks, because then you'll be like, cool, like if I eat that again, I think I'm gonna throw up. For me, like I'm a creature of habit, so if I start getting french fries when I go to the dining hall for dinner, if I get a sandwich and some french fries, and then I'm like really good about water, so like let's say I get a water because I feel bad that I got the fries, so I'm not gonna get like a drink. So like I'll start doing that like every day for dinner. So just be like very mindful of your choices and your decisions your first few weeks, because they will turn into habits. If you're trying to avoid the freshman 15 and be healthy, then make it a habit to only drink water in the dining halls. Not saying you can't have french fries, because like they're delicious, but I'm saying like if you had french fries yesterday, be like, oh, I had fries yesterday, like I'm gonna get a fruit salad and a sandwich today instead of fries with my sandwich, you know what I mean? And I also have a whole video on the freshman 15 if you want to watch that. So just like be very mindful about what you're eating in the dining halls your first few weeks. Just like be very mindful of your habits, or like your actions the first few weeks, because they will turn into habits. To go along with that is cleaning and cleaning your dorm and your apartment. So that's the same thing. If you are not cleaning it your first like few weeks there, it's going to be a habit that it doesn't really get cleaned. So whether you take on that responsibility or you divvy it up between you and your roommate or roommates, that's up to you. But I would just recommend like creating a cleaning schedule really early on, because then it sets expectations for everyone and makes you not have to have that like difficult conversation later on in the semester or the year. So another recommendation for the first few weeks would be just like coming up with like a cleaning schedule for your dorm. Another thing I would advise against doing your first week of school would be going really hard when you go out. Now I know that everyone is really excited to go out with their friends right when they get to college. I would recommend being on your best behavior the first few weeks. You don't want to be like that girl that like is all over the place, like sloppy. Be cautious. If you want me to make a whole video about like a beginner's guide to going out in college, I thought about that. I think that would be a fun video, so let me know if you'd want to see that. Yeah, just like please be safe and just use your best judgment. I know it's like the first week for a reason. It's like syllabus week, drop ad, and everyone kind of can be going a little bit crazy. You don't want to be known as like that girl, especially like right at the beginning of school. So yeah, because I definitely know people that would like kind of happen to. I don't want that to happen to any of you guys. I think that's kind of it. I don't want to ramble on for too long about what to expect from your first week, but it's just a lot of what you are expecting, and it's just like coming to life, and it's kind of crazy because it's actually happening. It's a lot of adulting, which I talk about a lot on this channel. It's a lot of just like being a big girl and having fun too. If you're gonna be a freshman, let me know what school you're attending in a comment below. I'd love to know. And if you're new here, I would love to have you, so make sure you subscribe. I think that's it though for today. Again, thanks so much for watching. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!